the Cosby. You was 14, 15. When did you get were you into girls at that time? Because my son,
As
15 right
to-
now. No. I'm just saying, were you into like having a girlfriends and getting your heart broke at that early age? My son, how old is he? 16 now, and he had his girlfriend by 15. So I thought about that. I say, you was on the set. Was you thinking about business? Or was you or was you thinking about girls?
I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about handling my business with the girls.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
So,
and the one thing I can say, man, like when I seen you, we go into the Cosbys and just think about the time that was. You didn't see successful families, black, on TV like that.
Yeah.
So that was commendable. When you heard somebody was a lawyer and a doctor,
but there were people there. They existed. That's the thing. It's just that they weren't being represented on TV or in film.
Yeah.
Because man, my friends in DC, in different areas, that's who they were. Very affluent.
Really?
Yes.
So when you went on the set, you was used to seeing that type of family.
I was used to seeing not
lawyer, doctor,
not a lot of them, but yeah, they existed. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, 100%, man.
Well, not in the South, but up there where it was something we looked up to,
Right. But I think it was in the South too. It just wasn't being shown.
That's right.
Because I mean, you go to Georgia today, you go down there to Georgia, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first went, that's all I saw was affluent black folks.
Correct. Me too. When I first went,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how did they get all this?
Yeah.
So they've always been there, just never represented on.
In the public.
And during those times, like even me being from a small country town, you would see that blacks owned their own business, and we kind of kept ourselves separated. Even the schools were separated at first before they say desegregate, whatever, But I'm just tripping off the fact of how business with black people was owning things during that time, but we didn't really look at it like that. I didn't. We looked at it like, man, we need to go over here and mingle and mix. To be honest with you, that was more our forte of what we were trying to do at that time. But it really might not have been a good thing for us.
I think the problem is when you are led to believe what you need versus realizing what you need.
What you have to.
Not realizing what you have already. Right. Right.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, because it's like, when you look at the biggest consumers, when you look at the whatever, you look at the numbers. If you knew to look at the numbers, right? You got to have a different scope. But when you're programmed, which is programming, when you're programmed to have a certain thought process or whatever, then that's what you think it has to be. You don't know another way until you do another way. But then they also will make it so that when you go another way and you get smacked on your hand or something, you're like, ooh, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to do it that way. That way might not be the right way, because they don't want you to know that that's the right way.
Right.
They don't want you to know that. And it's been like that since the beginning of time, whether through slavery. It's like they'll make an example of someone constantly so that you don't want to get outside of your comfort zone, your box, your whatever, And so, we recognizing your own power, recognizing your own strength in numbers, not only in numbers, but within yourself.
That's real.
That's the thing that, and sometimes you got to be you have to be the example, right?
That's
you got to
real.
go out there and say, look, if I can do this, you can do this. Trust me. Look, I did it. So come on.
Let me ask you this.
But I want to stay on something.
Go ahead.
But the crazy thing is that growing up, you always taught, okay, go to school, get a job, do this, till you had the generation change where everything is so entrepreneurship. Oh, you don't have to go work for nobody. Create your own lane now.
Well, look at it like this. Oh, what's your question? Because I'll address it. I'm sorry. What's the question?
No, but what I'm saying is that change that you were talking about, somebody had to step out to create that change of mind where it's not really, you don't have to go this route. It's okay to now be an entrepreneur. and disappoint your parents. They're stuck in that way of thinking that you have to do this, but you have to take on your own path and create.
There's so many. Well, it's if it's in you, if you got that spirit in you, you know what I mean, like you said. And so it's one of those things where you're right. We've been programmed so long because, again, if all I wanted you to do was stay where you are, of course that's what I'm gonna make sure that you think. Because it's needed.
That's
I
real.
need you as a worker bee.
That's right. That's right.
To make this thing work.
That's real.
I need worker bees. Period. So if you know what I'm saying, drones. I need drones. There's a lot of drones out there. So, I already know that there's going to be a few rebellious ones that are, but if I can control the masses, these few won't matter.
Wow. I'm really, like I said, as I talk to you, and I think about, when you was on the Cosby, you was 14, 15. When did you get were you into girls at that time? Because my son,
As
15 right now. No, I'm just saying, were you into like having girlfriends and getting your heart broke at that early age? My son, how old is he? 16 now. And he had his girlfriend, about 15? So I thought about that. I say, you was on the set. Was you thinking about business? Or was you or was you thinking about girls?
I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about handling my business. With the girls.
Yeah, because you're 15. That's all I'm thinking. I'm like, when I'm 15, I'm on the phone. I'm all night on the phone.
Well, you have to understand too, even though it seems as if I was, this outgoing whatever, I was really shy, to be quite honest. I was able to be these things if I was these people, in terms of if I played this character, if I became Aquaman, if I was, that was an escape, right? That was a way for me to, you know what I mean? And it's crazy too if you try to emulate, think about it like this, right? If I'm 12 years old, but I'm watching a scene from Saturday Night Fever, you know what I mean? John Travolta, who is clearly way beyond, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that scene, and I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna sound crazy, but that's what I was like. Okay, if I saw something, and I didn't know how to talk to somebody, or if I was like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be this person and this persona, and then I might, but then it was just having the guts to do that.
Right.
But when I got famous, when I started doing commercials first, when I started doing things way before Cosby Show, it made me more popular.
Okay.
And with that came attention. So then I didn't have to work so hard. It was like, oh, I don't have to say nothing. She came to me. I didn't have to say nothing. But then I didn't know how to deal with that either when when you get approached by, someone who is aggressive, because them girls,
You made me think about something.
I'll never forget, man. I was dating this chick, or at least I liked her anyway. We were supposed to be dating, whatever. And her, and how you would sneak on the staircase and maybe kiss or something. And that's all I knew how to do. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm the best kisser on the planet. I'm the kiss master, baby. And most of the girls was taller than me anyway. So I always had to stand on one step while they stayed down here. Even go up in the South, I'm gonna walk you home. We walk through the woods, we stop in the middle of the woods to kiss, but I gotta stand on the tree stump, like the log, just to get, because the girls was tall, man. I don't know. But I wasn't gonna deter me from getting this kiss under the moonlight in the woods.
We done watched the movie.
Yeah, because I was always the star of my own movie. You don't even understand.
So you're always romantic.
I am. And so my point, I am.
Yeah. Because the way how you talking, I'm hearing it.
And to this point, so when they came, they came up to me, and I was talking to this one young lady, and her brother, who was younger than me, so and she older than me, so I'm in between both of them. But her brother had to tell me, which was wild too. He was like, "Hey man, put your hand, grab on something, dude." I'm like, what? Because he's sitting there watching us kiss, And I'm like,
he's trying to help him.
He's trying to help. And I'm like, did she tell you to say this to me? I don't understand. Because he's watching, because, they going home or walking home, And we stopped, do our little kiss for about whatever. And then, but he was like, hey, man, Like, you know, like, get up under there, do something. I'm like, what? I can't. I got permission.
You ain't gonna get hit.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna just go grabbing the cookies without, you know.
Permission.
Yeah. I was like, you sure? She want me to do this?
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk.